Hey guys, Lego Thor here, and welcome to a very special video, the Thor 3 showcase. Oh! So, yeah, the reason I didn't upload Monday or Tuesday was because I wanted to have this video up today because it's the day before Thor 3 comes out in theaters. Super excited for this film. Really love the figures I got here. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy the figures as well. A lot of work went into these guys, especially Hulk, Mother Hubbard, and yeah, so anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, and the first minifigure is Thor. Now keep in mind, none of these have weapons because I was kind of trying to finish up all the details on them and couldn't really finish their weapons off, so that's why they don't have weapons. But I was very happy with the way that Thor came out. So yeah, he has some empty holsters right now. Just ignore that for now. So yeah, quite a bit of sculpting and 3D elements added. Now, a lot of these I used actually all of these, I used the Lego like figures as a base and then just added to it like a lot. So you can see that here. Obviously, I added like a waist cape and a lot of sculpting. There's sculpting on the torso, on the legs, on the arms. So yeah, a lot of 3D elements for these guys, which I think is really nice. So you can see here the newly sculpted shoulder pad. I cut the one off of the sword holster there because it wasn't very accurate. Then painted on some red lettering as well. Got the red lettering going down the side of his waist cape there, and his leg there, which is a little hard to see, but and then his other leg here has some red lettering on it as well. I got the other wristband, which is actually sculpted on there. His cape, I basically just made my own because the Lego one was kind of eh. The arm I kept the same, I just added to it, so I added like the back elbow pad and the brown strap that goes around his wrist there. So, and then I continued this silver strap going around the arm. So basically just a continuation of the detail that was already there. I got the two like gold circle bits, and then his belt piece there painted a little bit on the face as well with the war paint going on there. So yeah, I eventually will have a hairpiece for him. I'll probably add that when I add the swords. So but yeah, not the most complex figure, but definitely not the easiest figure either. You can see the strap there. That is actually 3D. That's electrical tape. So, you know, yeah. And then I actually made a lot of waist capes for these figures, and I'm not used to making those, so I have not really made many of those in the past, but I'll definitely be making more. Like, these are my first ever waist capes, so this one looks really nice. At least I think so. I tried to get it to match the torso color as much as possible, but that was a little hard. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next figure. Alright guys, and the next minifigure is Loki. Now this is actually the most simplistic figure if you're worried about a bit of sculpting. So pretty much the hardest part was the sculpting on the hair. I just took the helmet, cut the back completely off, and it doesn't look that good. I actually tried to sand it, but because of the rubbery material of the helmet, it just looks rough. So I'm not sure how to fix that. If you guys know how to fix it, let me know. But like the rubber bits kind of stick off, and it was really hard to sand and actually get it to look smooth. And then basically just sculpted the hair. It wasn't that difficult, believe it or not. I'll have a tutorial on it eventually. There's two little green parts on the front of the helmet from what I could see, so I got those on there. Didn't really change the face at all, but I did paint around the neck. There's little blue spots around the neck, if you can see that there. Now let me take this off. Last time I took this off, yep. So this hair actually isn't the most stable thing. I'm gonna have to glue it to the helmet eventually, but it was in two pieces. Oh, there's the back of his head. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? I kind of just disregarded that because of the sculpting. But yeah, you can see on his neck I painted the blue there just to go around because he does have that. The cape here. So it's just gold on one side and blue on the other. Just painted that up. Quite simple. I made it well, I didn't really make it myself. This was actually a Robin cape from the Lego Batman movie. But I did modify it a bit. Alright, so the arms here. I probably will sculpt this in the future, like the arm parts. I didn't really do that because I was trying to finish up. Basically, Hulk was the character I worked most on. Like, you'll see that at the end. I'll show him at the end. But I did so much work on him, the other figures kind of sat on the back burner a little bit. So not too much detail on Loki here. Another waist cape that I did make, and I am quite proud of it, actually. I do like the way that it turned out overall. You can see the lines there a little bit. Just some simple black boots. I painted a little bit of gold on the torso, but mainly the main work just went into the helmet and the arms here. So you can see the arm guards and the wrist guard and that sort of thing. But there's really not that much detail to Loki. So, yeah. Which some of you guys might not like, but that's alright, because the main focus of the showcase was Thor and Hulk. Let's see if I can freaking get this. You know what? I'm gonna risk not risk breaking the hair, and I'm just gonna move on to the next figure. Alright guys, so the next minifigure is Valkyrie. Now, a lot of people are probably gonna end up making the white suit for her, because there's like two different looks that she has. There's like the white suit, and then there's like the blue suit. Now, the reason I made the blue one was because, again, I wanted to spend a ton of time on Hulk, getting him to look the way that I wanted. So I decided to start with this because this one would take up less time because I had the Lego as a base to work off of. So, but I will probably make the white suit in the future, depending. So, yeah. Anyways, this waist cape is really nice. I love the way that this one turned out. I think it looks really good. And it does continue around to the sides. So you got that one there, and then this one here. I do like how it's like shorter on this side. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, it does actually continue to the back as well, because like at first it just went to the side, and then I realized her cape actually shows off the back, and I was like, well, so I kind of made it continue. The seam, you kind of see like where I made the back one as well, so it doesn't look the best. But anyway, so yeah, kept the Lego head, just added some hair to it because it would look weird without that. She just looked like she was balding. I had some spare clay, so I added this little, she has like a little bun at the top. So I just added that because I was like, let's add some more detail because I have some spare clay. I made this cape myself because I didn't like how loose the Lego one was, so it's just that card material. I basically just like added some 3D elements, like the belts, where the belts were on the torso. I made those 3D. I sculpted the belt buckle there. I sculpted on this hand because, again, I had some spare clay, so I put that wrist guard on. And like the chainmail, you can actually see that is sculpted there. I will probably sculpt this side eventually as well, but I had some spare clay. Literally yesterday, I was like, oh, let me put this on, and then that way in the morning it'll be dry and I can just paint it up. So, yeah. And then it's a little hard to see, but her boots are blue and the top of her legs are black. That is accurate from what I could see from the photos. Oh yeah, I did want to point this out. A lot of photos I used, some of them were for the set and some were from toys, especially for Hulk. So colors may vary. Colors may vary depending on actual product. No, so it might not be movie accurate colors, especially on Thor and Hulk, because in some like looks, Thor's armor looks like it's brown, like the armor there, but then some it looks gray, some it looks like silver, so it's really hard to tell. So I made it like that dark gray that Lego had it as, but it might not be. So anyway, just pointing that out. So some of this might not be completely color accurate, but that's fine. It's fine. So I did add some knives as well. There's a knife here on this side, which is really darn hard to see. There we go. You see it there. And then another one on this side. This one's a bit smaller there. So yeah, overall, really do like this figure. And again, I will give them all weapons in the future, but for right now, it's just sort of what you see is what you get, because I wanted more detail on the figure than worrying about weapons. So yeah, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the next figure. Alright guys, and the next minifigure is Hela. Again, no weapon, but that's fine. So, pretty much, it was really a matter of taking the Lego base and painting everything in this shiny metallic green color. And you can see as it turns, it kind of shines as the light hits it. Let me kind of tip her back so you can see that. There you go. So you can see the kind of sheen that it has, which I really, really like. So I just kind of painted some tan details on the torso there, as well as just painting everything in that shiny green color. And then the real work comes in the belts, where I added all of that. I added all of the leg and arm details. Of course, this shiny cape looks really, I really like the way that this looks. This kind of shiny green on there. It looks really dope. So, yeah, same with the helmet, just simple stuff on that. Let me go ahead and remove the cape so you can see more. So, we have the arm here with the exposed shoulder, some more green on there. The green goes down to the hands. I'm going to show this side because it looks better. So pretty much you got the wrist guard, that's really easy to see there, and then the straps that go around like the 3 lines going up to it. As simple, whoa, come on, Butterfingers. As simple as this figure was, because again, it was mostly just adding stuff, it still looks really cool because of the paint, really. So it just, the detail goes around to the side there. Not too much detail to show as far as that goes. It was just really the main work on my part came into the arms and the legs, because the rest was all just tracing what Lego had already printed, just in a more accurate color. I will eventually have a separate like face for her with the hair, but again, Hulk was a massive project, and I'm about to show that off, so whew, I've talked about him so much. So without further ado, let's look at the final big fig, the Hulk. Alright guys, and the Hulk was definitely the most difficult project, one of the most the hardest projects I've ever done, for sure. Again, used Lego as a base, so yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of, like, let's just start at the helmet. There's weathering, and I added, like, in the lines here, all these black lines. I kind of filled those in to make them look better. More weathering. Come on, camera. Focus. And then, like, this arm here, I added the weathering. I, like, put some dents and dings in it where, from pictures anyway, it was accurate. Most of these are based off toy photos, by the way, because the ones from the set are, like, actual commercial are kind of blurry and hard to define. So the axe holder on the back, while I don't think it's accurate, I think it looks cool. So it's like you could just grab it and start swinging. But I will go ahead and remove that. I just decided to add it because when this clay on the back was drying, I was like, you know, it'd be cool, a little hook. So I put the hook on there, and yeah, I think it looks really nice. So this arm here. Yeah. Went through, I'll kind of show it off. Went through some weathering on the top here, and again, I add some dings and some scratches. A little harder to see on camera, but they are, it's like physically scratched. I took a thumbtack and was just like going ham. Sculpted this armor on the hand here. Added this purple hand wrap that he kind of has. The silver parts where there's silver, and then the brown where there's brown. The spikes. And then here you can see this goes all the way around, this sculpted thing. This just kind of 2 brown lines with like silver going back and forth in between. There's the back strap here. These 2 straps on the front were sculpted as well. Got the like the silver parts painted on the front, the little blue part there. I painted some extra tattoo up there, or like war paint up there, not tattoo. And also on the abs here where it was printed, they didn't actually connect, so I went and connected them myself. Like, if you don't know what I mean, like the tattoos, they kind of, why do I keep saying tattoos? Gosh dang it. The war paint kind of, like where the ab crease is, they would just like jump to the next like ab. I filled in between. Added the ones on the arms there. Then over here, did some more sculpting here with the wrist guard and this sort of thing that he has with the purple ones this time. The purple strap around the arm. This hand painted up in armor with the kind of weird hand guard thing on the back there. Now, definitely the most time-consuming part was the legs. Now, if you don't know, the Lego Hulk originally for this set, the set that's back here, this arena, it had sculpted pants on it, which, well, the Hulk looked fine. Like, the one that Lego made was fine. It wasn't accurate because he had, like, this, like, belt. Here, let me take the arms off real quick. I'm just going to tear the Hulk to pieces. How many people can say they've done that? There we go. So, camera. Camera. Focus. Alright, that's fine. But yeah, I had to sand off the pants myself. And then go and sculpt on the sandal. So you can see there, I sculpted the top part where the sandal, like those straps connect into the sandal, right there. I sculpted this part on the knees with the 3 straps that go around to the back. And I kind of had like a little calf guard at the back there. I don't know how accurate that is. I could not find any photos of the back. So yeah, the 3 straps were sculpted. The knee things were sculpted. The top of the sandals were sculpted. And then I painted the sandals around the bottom there. And then I added this belt, this huge brown belt with some blue details. And the front little flap that hangs down, you can see the blue details on the side, all the little lines there, all the little details. I sculpted this belt buckle, added the stuff to that, and then made all of these little things that hang down over the sides. This big one at the back, again, I could not find any photos of the back, so I assume this isn't accurate, but it's there. So, yep, that just hangs down there, and then 2 more on this side. So, yeah, tons of sculpting, tons of, like, making stuff out of paper, a lot of things that I've never actually done before. And, I mean, I've sculpted, yeah, but, like, I've never had to sand off the pants of a big fig and then sculpt on like sandals and stuff. So it was just an insanely difficult project, but I'm so happy with the way that it turned out. And you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. I really, really like it. Again, he doesn't have his hammer, but I'll probably work on those later if I can get my camera to focus on what I want it to focus on. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that is the Hulk Big Fig. I really, really like it. This is where a majority of the work went into. Like, I was just working on this almost every time I was customizing. There was something else that needed done on this. More sculpting, more paper, more adjusting. So, yeah, crazy, crazy stuff. But, again, I'm very proud of the way that this turned out. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up this video. Right, guys, that about wraps up this video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, as well as subscribe. And, yeah, let me know what you think of the figures in the comments. Be much appreciated. Justice League Showcase will be coming out pretty soon, if I can freaking finish the figures for that. We'll see how that goes. But, yeah. So, anyways, this has been Lego Freak. Peace.